Salutations. Welcome to another episode of Foxx Plays KSP, the 365-day challenge. So, let me start off by saying I'm very sorry for not posting anything for a couple days. I've just been super busy and you know, other things took priority, but I'm going to make it up today. It's early morning here, so basically going to be doing 3 episodes today. Just to make up for the 2 that I missed. But also including today's episode early as kind of a, sorry present. Right. So yeah, we've got some interesting things going on today, and to see what I mean, let's hop on over to the launch pad. And it is a monster. It's massive. It took up the whole VAB. So this has a whole bunch of new parts from a kind of a sister mod to Tantares, tangentially related. It's Tantares has the TLV pack, which is the launch vehicles. So that has the things like the R7 and the Proton that I've been using. But the guy who made those collaborated with another fella and produced some really rather amazing parts. They're still a little rough around the edges, and they're still being developed. But I think they're amazing, and it's basically they're modeling the Zenit rockets. These were Bale's contributions. Basically modeling the Zenit rockets, which were initially the strap-on boosters for the Buran launcher. Yeah, so it's massive. It's really big. So I think without too much on and on, we'll throttle to full, SAS on, and light that candle. And there she goes. Beautiful. So the thrust to weight ratio on this is that's just because I don't actually have an engine on the 5 meter. That's right, folks, 5 meter first for the channel. The 5 meter core stage. It's all basically all that fuel's being pumped into these 8 cores that are kind of surrounding that core. And this launcher isn't really modeled on anything. It's not supposed to be anything. It's kind of Proton-esque, just for the way that the kind of those protrusions are the ones that have the engines in it, and there's a lot of fuel in the central column. But anyway, so yeah, this is a bit overkill, just because my payload today is not particularly heavy. The trouble is that it's very voluminous. It takes up a lot of space, and the fairing needed to enclose them is, well, it's kind of its minimum size. So putting it on anything other than a 5 meter rocket just looks absurd. So I figured I'd download this pack and see what's what. But I think this is quite a handsome launcher, all things considered. But yes, so yes, we're launching something quite new today because it's the first in a very new project for me, something that I haven't really done all that much of before now, really in any context, and that is the first part of a moon base. You heard me, folks, a permanent facility on the moon. So being the first module, it is a solar farm there to provide power to all the modules that will be coming down in the future. And I've decided to name it the Jing Fang Solar Farm. or solar array. And that is after an ancient Chinese astronomer who was, quite a few other things as well, a music theoretician and philosopher and such, mathematician. But specifically, his observations that are recorded to history about astronomy, at least, was he was part of the kind of scientific movement in Japan, or sorry, not Japan. Oh, what am I saying? Oh, curse me forever for getting those two mixed up. But it was part of a scientific movement in ancient China that said that the moon did not give off its own light, that it was instead reflected sunlight. Which, I mean, we're talking, I believe it was like 200 BC here. So that was actually a pretty radical concept. The moon shone so clearly it was giving off light, but he said, no. Not only is the moon a sphere, not a disk, but the light it gives off is from the sun. So I think it's quite fitting that a solar array that is being deployed to the moon to gather sunlight should be named after him. Well, anyway, we're rising steadily, and it's worth noting that this is a little bugged. I'm not quite sure why it's reading that low, because it's really not. Because the core stage is all empty, but all these strap-on boosters still have quite a lot of fuel in them, and will go for quite a long time. So we have turned over a little bit early, but we are pushing through the upper atmosphere. So I think I am going to turn over a bit more, just to get that much more orbital velocity, because I don't need much more in terms of straight altitude. I've done some limited testing with this launcher prior to this, and all indications say that it's capable of SSTO flight. Alright, we've got an acceptable apoapsis. Alright, cut off any time now. Very acceptable apoapsis. You can stop any time. There we go. Alright, and perform a small roll here. Alright. And there we are. Revealing the payload within. Beautiful. So yeah, the solar array consists of these three trusses. We've got a lander here with many legs because it is heavy enough, all things considered. But they each will essentially deploy from the lander and seek out a suitable deployment area themselves. Of course, they all have batteries, so we should be okay to. That's not something that I had considered. I should have added some minor solar panels here, just for maintaining electric charge on our trip to the moon. But we'll see. I don't think it'll be needed. So we'll just. I do want to show you the effects for this upper stage, this 5-meter engine from the... And I may not have mentioned the name of the parts pack. It's called the AB Launchers Pack, and can be found on the Kerbal forums. There we are. Yeah, so we've got this massive upper stage here. the RE574X7 Whirlwind liquid fuel engine. And I could swear that that's a reference to something, because that's what the smaller engines are called. In this pack, they're called the RE574s, which are the analogs to the RD170s. But can't remember what real world rocket would have an analog to this, but I know there is one. It might just be concept. I can't remember. But anyway, just got set up. Anyway, we're definitely going to run into electric charge problems here. But yeah, so we'll do some time acceleration here. It will not take 1 hour. No, don't worry about that. It's lying. Jeez and crow, yeah, we're not going to be able to sustain that power drain. We might have to deploy some of the solar panels early and just retract them for landing. I estimate about maybe 10 seconds. We'll try that. I was wrong. We needed twice that, but oh well. But yeah, very nice emissive on the engines here. They're starting to heat up. Very nice. And this will put us into an orbit that we can then burn to the moon from. And I think I have enough translunar injection burns on my channel already, so I'm not gonna put another one on. I mean, if you really would like another one, feel free to let me know in comments. But I think I'm good for now. But yeah, so I'm gonna put a cut here, and well, I'll see you when we get to the moon. All right, see you there. Well, gosh darn it. This is quite unplanned. I got into a nice stable orbit around the moon. And there it is. Nice orbit, nice safe orbit. But well, as you may have seen already, I did in fact run into electric charge problems, so I now cannot deploy any of my solar panels. So this is, well, it's going to require some rescuing. So I'll do some pondering, but I think we might have to send a rescue mission all the way from Kerbin to make sure that this spacecraft can fulfill its mission. Anyway, it has been a launch to orbit, and in fact transfer to the moon. So this has constituted as at least part of the mission. So anyway, I've been Fox. This has been KSP. Thank you for watching. Hope you've enjoyed. Hope to see you next time. Right now. Alright. Thanks again. Take care.